The Alchemist, first published in 1988, is a philosophical novel by Brazilian author Paulo Coelho. Though simple in language and structure, the book carries profound messages about purpose, destiny, faith, perseverance, and listening to one's heart. It has become one of the most widely read books in modern history, inspiring millions of readers across cultures and generations. At its core, The Alchemist is a spiritual fable that follows a young shepherd named Santiago on a journey to discover his personal legend, the unique path each person is meant to follow in life. Through Santiago's experiences, Coelho explores the idea that when we truly desire something, the universe conspires to help us achieve it. Santiago and the Call to Adventure. The story begins in Andalusia, Spain, where Santiago lives a simple life as a shepherd, tending his sheep and traveling the countryside. Though content, Santiago feels restless and yearns to explore the world beyond what he already knows. One night, he has a recurring dream about a hidden treasure buried near the Egyptian pyramids. Seeking meaning, Santiago visits a gypsy woman who interprets dreams. She tells him that the dream is prophetic and urges him to follow it. Soon after, Santiago meets a mysterious old man who introduces himself as Melchizedek, the king of Salem. Melchizedek speaks of personal legends and explains that most people abandon their dreams out of fear, comfort, or social expectations. Melchizedek gives Santiago two magical stones, Urim and Thummim, to help him read omens when he feels lost. Inspired, Santiago sells his sheep and begins his journey toward Africa in search of the treasure. Loss, faith, and learning through experience. Upon arriving in Tangier, Santiago is quickly robbed of all his money. Alone and discouraged in a foreign land, he considers giving up and returning home. However, instead of surrendering to despair, he chooses to work for a crystal merchant to rebuild his savings. During his time at the crystal shop, Santiago learns valuable lessons about patience, discipline, and initiative. By suggesting improvements, such as selling tea in crystal glasses, he helps the business thrive. Yet the crystal merchant represents someone who dreams but never acts, fearing change more than failure. After nearly a year, Santiago earns enough money to return home, but he chooses to continue his journey. This decision marks a turning point, showing that he is committed to his personal legend, even when it means uncertainty. The desert journey and the language of the world. Santiago joins a caravan crossing the Sahara Desert, where he meets an Englishman searching for an alchemist who can teach him the secrets of turning lead into gold. While the Englishman studies books, Santiago learns by observing the desert, the wind, and the people around him. Through this contrast, Coelho emphasizes one of the novel's central ideas: true wisdom comes not only from books, but from lived experience and intuition. Santiago begins to understand the language of the world, the universal signs and symbols that guide those who are open to them. As tribal wars break out in the desert, the caravan is forced to stop at an oasis called Al-Fayum. Love and the Test of Destiny. At the oasis, Santiago meets Fatima, a young woman with whom he falls deeply in love. For the first time, Santiago is tempted to abandon his journey and remain where he is happy. Fatima, however, encourages him to continue, understanding that true love does not prevent someone from fulfilling their destiny, it supports it. While at the oasis, Santiago has a vision predicting an attack. He warns the tribal leaders and is rewarded for his courage. This event proves that he is learning to trust his intuition and read omens correctly. Santiago then meets the mysterious alchemist, who becomes his spiritual guide. The alchemist teaches him that fear is the greatest obstacle to achieving one's dreams and that personal transformation requires sacrifice. Trials of the Soul. As Santiago and the alchemist travel deeper into the desert, Santiago faces his greatest tests. He is captured by hostile tribesmen and challenged to prove his spiritual power. To survive, Santiago must demonstrate his understanding of the soul of the world. In one of the novel's most symbolic scenes, Santiago transforms himself into the wind, not through magic, but through complete harmony with nature and faith in the universe. This moment represents his full spiritual awakening. The alchemist explains that true alchemy is not about turning metal into gold, but transforming the soul through courage, love, and self-discovery. The true treasure. Eventually, Santiago reaches the pyramids of Egypt, only to be beaten by thieves who mock his dream. Ironically, one of the thieves reveals that he once dreamed of treasure buried beneath a tree near a ruined church in Spain, but never believed it was worth pursuing. Santiago realizes that the treasure has been near his starting point all along. He returns to Spain and finds a chest of gold buried exactly where he first had his dream. His journey, though seemingly circular, was necessary for him to grow into someone capable of understanding the treasure's true value. The novel ends with Santiago planning to return to Fatima, enriched not only by material wealth but by wisdom and self-knowledge. Themes and meaning. The Alchemist emphasizes that every individual has a personal legend, and fulfillment comes from pursuing it wholeheartedly. The book teaches that fear of failure is more dangerous than failure itself, and that love should inspire growth rather than limitation. Coelho blends spiritual traditions, philosophy, and folklore to deliver a message that resonates universally. When we listen to our hearts and trust the journey, life reveals its meaning. Conclusion. The Alchemist remains a modern classic because it speaks to the dreamer in everyone. Through Santiago's journey, readers are reminded that life's true treasures are found through courage, persistence, and faith in oneself.